Hello everyone, this is Mark White again with my friend, colleague, partner, Dennis Fernandez. We're speaking to you from the offices of Whitespace, the business affiliate of our law firm White Summers. We're continuing our discussion about intellectual property and looking at conversion points and development for new innovation. Our first video briefly addressed the challenge that companies have and developers of new solutions on trying to architect their solutions in order to find conversion points where all competitors have to address needs for a solution to function efficiently, creating standards really and the dynamics of doing that. In this segment, I'd like to talk a bit with you, Dennis, about what kind of research companies actually have to do. As we said in the first video, you can't look at prior art to figure out where technology is going. So it's more prospective, foreseeing developments, sort of a overlap of perspective on market development, customer needs, and where technology has to go to build those solutions. Pragmatically, what should developers, innovators do to proceed with this analysis? What do they look at? Where's the data that you would that you'd have to find and review?
Well, the easy data, the low-hanging fruit that would be available are published patents and patent applications in the U.S. and foreign countries. So these are online. A lot of technical journals, attending conferences. So this gives you a baseline of the thinking technically. That complements the emerging business models, trying to understand how this technology can be designed into systems and all kinds of automated services on the internet, looking at how these services could define a new platform that might be a standard. It could be architected for smartphones, telematic systems in cars. And so I look at how you integrate the technology into emerging business models.
So really, it's not looking at a database necessarily, or just past patents. It's going to conferences, it's listening to speakers, visionaries, getting a sense of where they think new opportunities arise and where customer needs, both enterprise and consumer customers, all types of customers, what their requirements will be. But mapping sort of the past developments to what the future requirements are is really what the need is. And then projecting how solutions can be built to address those future needs that have never been addressed before, and figuring out what are the technology hurdles that everybody has to go through. Is that correct?
That's right. Sometimes it's just the evolution of an ecosystem like in converged media. So video gaming, digital television, a lot of online content providers are redefining entertainment and advertising. So it's a restructuring of the technical ecosystem that gives you a chance to leapfrog with aggressive patents if you can guess how, when the smoke clears, which of the architectural choices might become standard.
And this is a very difficult area because from a business perspective, you always want to launch products where the market is not mature, but it's there. You don't want to precede market development too quickly, otherwise your venture will not have an opportunity to create a customer base, revenues, and thrive. But from your perspective, you've got to think beyond that, because really if you're looking prospectively on protecting yourself, you've got to think of innovation not for the market today, but where everything's going in 3, 4, or 5 years.
That's right, Mark. For example, in healthcare, you have to look at convergence using all kinds of genetics and genomic data and methods that are automated on the network, looking at not just diagnostics, but therapies that are using all kinds of biotech sensor data. So these kinds of enabling technologies alter the economics of healthcare, maybe making it cheaper or safer. So there's a lot of opportunity to weave in smartphones and distributed network storage to automate diagnostic and therapies.
So I would imagine that most of our viewers have existing companies and products and solutions that they've already built. And the issue then is what is the future evolutionary path of products and markets for all of these companies? And we talked before about the need to constantly monitor and assess where markets are going and innovation to keep up with that. But if you have existing solutions, then the question is, how do you layer on top new innovation to protect yourself if you want to build a standard going out? And the standard is the holy grail, right? And so is there a trick on how you take existing solutions and either re-architect or add in new layers of technology and innovation that would allow for an extension of that product, overcoming these hurdles in the future? So it's basically, what's the trick with existing innovation, modifying it to address future needs if you're sort of in market right now?
There's different tricks. For example, one trick is to bridge between islands of technology. And so creating a protocol for communicating between systems where in the past they were inefficient in sharing data. In the chip design space, computer-aided design data that hands off from simulation into manufacturing was an opportunity to standardize on the protocol for data structures in EDA for electronic design automation. Another trick is to identify strategic partners and patent a path between your existing technology to get designed into a socket in the product line of a larger strategic partner. So you're plugged into that socket. So this trick is all about fitting a startup technology into the product roadmap of a bigger company that would be complemented. And it's not necessarily a standard, but it's a very strategic value for acquisition.
Which leads to the conclusion that even if your venture is not based on technology, its value is based on markets and revenues and brand and other value components. Intellectual property is key to allowing you to continue to operate in many respects. And knowing the larger or alternative technology solutions that have actually addressed the issue of convergence. And there's a bit of speculation there, because who knows who has invented unless the patent has been issued, is part of the analysis. And so there's a risk assessment here. Okay, let's leave it there. In our next session, I'd like to talk with Dennis a bit more about the patent application process, what actually to patent. Many companies don't have resources to do this. It's not key to what they want to do. There's always this debate on do patents create value. Let's dig into that in our next video. Thank you very much.